Hey everyone, Coach Lovett here with Primeletics. So if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button and join the family of Wolves. So today we're going to be talking about one-on-one defense. Not one-on-one in the sense of a one-on-one pickup game, but one-on-one within the 5-on-5 game. So how are you going to guard your man individually and help your team succeed? We're going to go over all the details for that today. Join us. As always, apply pressure. So the first important part of playing defense is your stance. So when I'm sitting in my stance, I want to be down right here. I want my feet a little bit wider than my shoulders, and I want my arms out wide. Now, this is going to help me be able to recover. So if I'm standing up, it's kind of hard to kind of recover. So that's why a lot of coaches, and you'll hear like at a lot of camps and stuff, people will tell you to sit down. Like standing up is so hard to move laterally. So I'm down here in my stance and I'm moving. So guarding the ball right here, sitting down. So that's the first part. Now the second part, you really should understand your opponent and know your opponent. You know, I know Danny is right-handed, so I want to force him the way that's going to make him uncomfortable. Now he may be able to use his left hand, still not his dominant hand. So I want to sit down and I want to force him left. So all I'm doing is I'm putting my leg up a little bit higher now on that right side, and I'm kind of giving them the option to go left. Now, I'm not turning all the way and just forcing them left like this, but I'm kind of shading them left. So this foot is up a little bit higher. I'm dropping that back foot to let him know that this left side is open. So now when he tries to go, I can cut him off a little bit easier than it would on his dominant hand side. So now you want to talk about your hand placement. So now, Danny in real life, he can shoot the ball and drive the ball. So my hands have to be active, which means that I know that if Danny has that ball in the shooting pocket right there, I kind of got to be shadowing and tracing that ball and be ready for anything, because at any moment, if I sag off and drop back, he can pull up and shoot the ball. And if I sag off, if I'm up close too much, he can just drive the ball right past me. My hands have to be active. So the way to have active, good hands are, so I know that he can shoot the ball, so my hand is right here, and then I'm playing him on that drive. Remember, I want to force it to the left, so boom, I'm shadowing and tracing the ball, and my hand's right here, so that way when he puts that ball in the shooting pocket, I can get right there really quickly. So you really want to get a feel for your opponent. Like I said, if you're playing anywhere that's not organized, or you're playing at a lower level besides varsity, college, you know, pro, you're not going to have a scouting report, so you kind of got to get a rhythm and fill out your opponent during the game. You know, you kind of take that first quarter and just see what your opponent is capable of. So, you know, whether they can shoot, whether they can drive, whether they can dribble real well, you have to pay attention to that and pick that up in the first quarter. Or, you know, if you're playing at the park, you got to pick that up in the first couple possessions real quickly. So that's something that you got to start getting into flow of to be a great one-on-one defender. Now going along again with that scouting report, you want to know, like when it comes to the tendencies, that's going to tell you how you're going to play your opponent. So if I know that I have a driver, Danny's a great driver, I'm going to be tracing him, but I'm going to be back a little bit. I'm sagging off. So sagging off is giving him some space to make him pull up for that jump shot, because I know he is a high percentage finisher when it comes to getting around to that paint area and finishing with a layup or, you know, a dunk. But shooting wise, I want to take my chances. So you got to be able to know your opponent. So when I'm sagging off, I'm right here, because this is enough space. This couple of inches is going to give him the illusion that he's wide open, and he's going to want to pull and settle for a jump shot. Now, on the other hand, if he's a shooter, I want to be right here in that shooting pocket, and I want to make him drive the ball. So I want to be right here, up close, kind of hand the cookie jar, as they say, and right here, just putting some extra pressure to make him drive, because I know, like I said, it's the vice versa. He's a high percentage shooter, and his percentages aren't so good when it comes to finishing in the paint. Or I know I got a 6'10 or 6'11 waiting down there to play help side defense. Now we want to talk about how to recover a little bit if you do happen to get beat. You know, in the game of basketball, everybody has their unique skills and their unique, you know, assets that bring them special talent to the game. Let's just say right now you're playing against a fast player, and you're going to come up against it. There's a lot of players that are lightning quick. So Danny drives by me. Well, he drives by me. Instead of coming right up to Danny, I'm going to try to beat him to the spot. My stance, his first step is God off and quick. Boom. I'm coming right here, and I'm beating him to the spot. See, every time he goes somewhere, I want to beat him to the spot. If he's already passed, if he's fast, I'm beating him to the spot. Now notice how I don't try to slide that whole time. Like I'm not sliding, but if he comes out and he beats me to the spot, boom, I'm gonna go with it, and I'm beating him back to that next spot that he goes. Boom, I'm turning my hips and going. I'm not staying down in the stance laterally that whole time. There's no way I would catch up. How to contest the jump shot. So the jump shot is, we gotta be very careful. As you see, there's a lot of people right now, and I see it now even with a lot of high school players, that are fouling jump shooters, which is the worst thing that you can do. There's nothing worse than making them take a hard shot already, no matter how great a shooter they are, and then giving them an extra point on that, or they miss a shot, but you knocked them over, so now they get 3 shot attempts at the free throw line, which is like, come on, that's a no-brainer. You never want that to happen. When I'm contesting on the shot, I want to be right here, like I said, and then as soon as he goes up into that shot, I'm back. Hand is contesting. Mostly, the best thing to do for a jump shooter, if they're a great shooter, they know their eyes are already locked on the rim. So, trying to just block their shot, if you can do it and you know you're quick enough, great, block their shot. But one of the best things to do is you want to place hand over eyes and block that vision. That vision is key. Like I said, shooters' eyes are locked on the rim, so why not block their vision instead of trying to block the shot? They're already taught, no matter how hard someone contests, keep eyes on the rim and shoot the ball. But they've never been taught how to shoot with their vision blocked. So that's one key that most guys don't know. You go right here and contest it to block that vision and throw their shot timing off. So the last thing we're going to talk about is spacing. So we'll talk about spacing on the shot first. So my space is anywhere that I am right here. So when he starts going up to that shot motion, that's his space, and this is my space. Now it's locked in to where we're at. So when I go contest, as long as I contest vertically and I'm straight up and down, that's my space. If at any time I lunge forward and hit him and I come out of my space and I'm lunging forward like in a diagonal motion, if I hit him, it's automatically a foul. Now on the same side, vice versa, if he shoots straight up and down, great. If he kicks his foot forward or anything, can be an offensive foul. Or if he draws to me while he's shooting, offensive foul or a no call. Now, here's where it gets tricky at. The offensive player always wins the battle if both players come out of their zone. So right now, say I'm playing Danny for the jump shot and he lunges forward and I'm lunging out of my zone. Now, Danny's at the free throw line shooting 3 free throws. Because I came out of my spot, even though he came out of his, the defensive player has to stay vertical like that whole time. And that's where a lot of people get into trouble. So no matter what they do, you must contest vertical and just hand over eyes. Hand over eyes, that's the key to it. Now a tricky part for your spacing on the drive, because I see a lot of players complaining about, how I didn't touch him. But yeah, you didn't touch him up here, but you hip checked them down here. So a hip check is whenever you see somebody leaning like this, that's usually a hip check. So if Danny's driving the ball, and yeah, I'm playing good defense up here, but I'm riding him with my body, that's an automatic foul. Like you're trying to stay in front of him so you really don't feel like you're fouling because you're not using your chest, which is legal, by the way. You can use your chest all day. So if he drives and runs, boom, I'm right here, and he's running into my chest, that's legal. That's perfectly legal. If I can grab him, that's a hand check. Now, if we were in the 1990s and early 2000s and all that stuff, then hand checking was legal, But now you got to keep hands off of the defender. You got to use your chest. You got to chest up. So he's driving, boom, I'm chesting up. Boom, he's driving, I'm chesting up right there. So there's a difference. I put my chest on him and not leaning my body forward, too far forward. Now let's like all the way to the drive. So when he's driving, I want to use my chest. Boom, he's driving straight to the basket. I'm using my chest right here. That's legal guarded position. Now if he does that same move and I stop and kind of block him, that's illegal. So I can't just stop right here and he's going up. If I just stop and take away both of our momentums, then it's not legal. So kind of tricky. So we'll go through it one more time. So now he's gonna go through. Boom. Now if he comes through again, boom, come through. Not to stop while he's trying to go up, illegal. So small little details, but can be the difference between legal and illegal, a foul and no foul. So.